We back, man. We back. We back, baby, with the rundown. What's up, everybody? We had to take a little bit of time off. Just been grinding in the off season, the 7v7 season, but we back. Definitely want to continue, delivering these exclusive guests, and these big time rising prospects for you guys. And today, man, we got a real deal riser in the quarterback department. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, in my opinion, one of the top 2027 quarterbacks in the country right now. This kid is listed at 6'4", around 180 pounds as a freshman. You know what I mean? Has a cannon for an arm, really good ball placement and accuracy. I'm just honored to have this kid on. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the show, everybody. William Jackson.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to thank you for having me. It's an honor for you to have me on here. And I really appreciate you for having me on here.
Nah, for sure, brother. Like I said, we're just gonna get into some ball talk, everybody. You know how we do it. We're just gonna talk some ball, and then we'll get into some recruiting talk. But before we do that, you know what I mean? Like I said, this kid is definitely one of the top risers in his class. He's got an offer from Arkansas and definitely receiving some, interest with some of these top schools. But we'll get into that, a little bit later in the show. But I definitely want to talk a little bit about your upbringing, brother, playing football. You know what I mean? Definitely at the quarterback position. Just share with the people a little bit about your journey playing football, brother.
My journey has been a long journey. I'm thankful to have the coaches that I've had in the past, and as I currently have right now. I'm thankful for my QB trainer Balin. My OC. I currently go to Lake Minneola. My OC Grant Alford. I'm appreciative of them, and I really appreciate them for keeping me through this journey.
Yeah, and you mentioned Balin, brother. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things you've been doing in the off season. Of course, this kid's 2027 quarterback has plenty of time to grow. But just talk about some of the things you've learned this off season. Training with Balin and whatnot, going through these 7v7 tournaments. What's some of the things you've learned this off season and picked up that you could take into the season?
He's really helped me out with my mechanics. He's helped me out with my footwork. I've learned a lot from him. He's great. He's a great tutor, great mentor. He's helped me out with my mechanics, my footwork, my reads. He has a little QB session where like he takes us on a computer and stuff like that, and we go through our reads, we go through progressions, things like that. So I've really learned a lot from him.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, I've definitely seen you compete at the 7v7 tournaments. Just what's your thoughts on the 7v7? I know you play with one of the top 7v7 programs in the country in 24K. But just talk about, what's your thoughts on 7v7 and what's some of the things you learned playing throughout some of these tournaments?
Some of the things that I've learned from playing throughout these tournaments, it gets really competitive, So I'm glad to compete. It gets really hyped up out in the 7v7 world. It's fun. My coaches have taught me a lot. They've brought me through a lot. Things like that.
And as a quarterback, let me just get into that real quick. Because as a quarterback, do you, some of these guys are, skeptical of 7v7 and how it's ran. Definitely as the quarterback position, as you don't got no blitzers or whatnot. But how do you feel? Does it help you with your timing? Does it help you with your mechanics? Going through your reads and whatnot.
Yeah, it helps me through my reads. It puts more of an emphasis on making you read a defense. While not having pressure in your face. It helps me go through my reads, go through my footwork. It helps me a lot with things like that. My mechanics. It really helped me focus on my mechanics, my footwork, my reading, and my progression reads, things like that.
And as I told you guys, what I'm saying, this guy definitely a young freshman, a rising freshman, but man, the arm talent is there. As I told you, just working out with Balin, he has the footwork mechanics. But just for the college coaches and the scouts that's watching, and we package this into an article, brother, just break down your game a little bit. What's some of the things you do well on the football field? He'll definitely have a chance to have more in-game film. But what's some of the things you do good and that you feel like separates yourself with some of these quarterbacks around your age?
Some things that I do well, when the play breaks down, I'm able to extend it with my legs. I feel like I read the defense good at a pretty good level right now. I feel like my footwork is killer. I mean, I got great footwork. I got great coaches that help me with my footwork, fast feet. And I feel like I read the defense pretty well.
And he broke down this game a little bit. You know, what I mean, I mentioned his build. You know, 6'4", around 180 pounds. He mentioned he can get mobile a little bit. Just who's a role model of yours? Who's a quarterback you like? You know, that you watch. You know what I'm saying, and that you feel like resembles your game a little bit.
Um, I actually like to say too. I feel like I watch Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes a lot. You know, Patrick Mahomes is a spectacular player. You know, he's able to make spectacular plays whenever the play breaks down.
Yeah.
He's just a great field. He knows how to operate the field, things like that. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, this kid definitely one of those. You know what I mean? He gonna be able to extend the play and stay accurate, definitely with his footwork. But really quick, man, what's your thoughts? You know, brother, I know you mentioned your high school. You'll definitely had a chance to, be the leader on the center this year. What's your thoughts on the high school season coming up? And what's some of the things you want to work on with your team? You know, what I mean, heading to spring ball.
Some of the things I want to work on is building more of a family like team. You know, getting closer with my teammates, getting closer with my guys. You know, that's my family right there. But I'm ready to run this show. You know, it's going to be a great journey with my guys, my brothers, and we've been building a brotherhood throughout this program that I've been in, and it's great to have them on my team.
Yeah, really quick, because I want to talk about that offensive line. How does it, I feel like every other day I see something about one of your offensive linemen. You know what I mean? How does it
Yeah,
feel to have some dogs on that offensive line protecting you? You know what I mean? And what do you feel like this offense can do in this season? You know what I mean?
with that offensive line, I feel like we could accomplish anything. You know, I feel like we got one of the better offensive lines in the state of Florida. Those guys keep me healthy throughout the season. They protect me well. They're really good at what they do, and I have great coaches around here that are able to help them with their mechanics and developing them and things like that. They're just yeah, I have a great
Yeah,
time playing behind them.
yeah. He definitely seemed fired up playing behind them dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, really quick, brother, let's jump into some of this recruiting talk. You know what I mean? As I mentioned, guys, this kid does have a power forward offer from Arkansas. Just let's jump right into that. You know what I mean? Let's talk about that offer really quick. How did that come about? What coach have you connected with so far?
I've connected with Bobby Petrino. The offer came about. He saw me on Twitter. You know, he saw what I liked with Balin. Um, obviously, Balin helped me out with the offer and things like that.
Sure.
He sent them some of my film and stuff like that, some of my throwing sessions, and that's how that really came about. But some of the other schools that are recruiting me are like Florida, Florida State, USF, Oklahoma, Louisville just hit me up recently. And I think I got a few other in there, but those are the ones that I remember for sure right now.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely been tapped in, man. Let's talk about some of those, out of state recent visits you just had. You know what I mean? Definitely you visited Texas and LSU here recently, if I'm correct.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
just talk about, thoughts on playing away from home and just talk about some of those visits. How was the Texas visit and how was LSU? I definitely been on those campuses and they're beautiful. So let's talk about them a little bit, brother.
Those visits were great. You know, it's great to see what's out there throughout the state of Florida. You know, I like traveling. You know, like seeing what other schools offer. You know, and those schools, I really had a fun time looking at their program, seeing what they had, and their coaches and their coaching staff and stuff and things like that. It was great sitting through their meetings, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And just thoughts on in-state schools. I know you just recently visited the Gators. You know what I mean, Seminoles. How would it feel to play for in-state, some of these big-time schools? That you've been watching probably throughout your life. Let's start with the Seminoles. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that coaching staff, that campus? That's definitely a university that's on the rise with Coach Mike Norvell. Let's talk about the Seminoles, brother, and how you feel about that program.
I feel great about the Seminoles. You know, I went up there recently on Thursday. The hype is real. You know, the competitiveness is there.
Yeah.
You know, when you go there, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the atmosphere. That the atmosphere is real over there. I really like Coach Mike November, what he's doing over there with the team, and it's just a great program all around.
For sure. And right around the let's go right around the corner, what I mean, really, let's talk about Gainesville, with Coach Billy Napier. Let's talk about Florida Gators. How do you like that program? How do you see yourself fitting into that program? Definitely a historic championship program. Just talk about the Gators a little bit, brother.
You know, I could see myself playing at Florida. You know, they have a great program over there too. They're really physical. I went to one of their practices. they really get physical over there. If you want to talk about a physical football team, Florida has that. You know, their program is great. I was sitting through their meetings. It's really good. Like I like Florida.
Yeah. And Balin like this one a little bit. Let's talk about the Hurricanes. You know what I mean? How would it feel to play down south a little bit? Definitely beautiful campus down there. Facilities are crazy. Coaching
Yeah.
staff, great energy. You know what I mean? How do you feel about the Miami Hurricanes, brother?
I like the Miami Hurricanes. I haven't been up on a visit yet, but I would
Ooh,
love to.
okay. Ooh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I would love to. They seem like they have some good stuff going on over there, and I would
Yeah,
love to talk to Coach Mario Cristobal and build a relationship with them and the team and the staff.
for sure. Well spoken, brother. Well spoken. And I gotta mention, my alumni, the UCF Knights. How do you feel about Coach Gus Malzahn? Definitely, a low key QB whisperer since Cam Newton. Definitely has some
Yeah,
quarterbacks come through his program. You know what I mean? Successful quarterback, a guy guru. You know what I mean? How do you feel about UCF? Kind of in your neck of the woods, right there in Central Florida. Definitely trying to build something. Just jump to the Power Five. How do you feel about the Knights, brother?
I like the Knights. 20 minutes away from home.
Yeah.
Uh, close to home, as my parents like it.
Yeah.
I've been down there for a game last year. I liked it. The atmosphere was good. It's a good program all in all throughout the program. I mean, I like it. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll bring me up on there on another visit sometime soon. Hopefully I can go to one of their spring practices. But I've been in talks with them a little bit, and it, it seems good. I
Yeah.
like them.
For sure. And man, just like I said, 2027, you know what I mean, a real deal riser. But man, how does it feel as a young, for the young prospects watching, for the young recruits watching? How does it feel to, be able to get some of these, big time interest for some of these top universities that you've been watching? How does it feel, and how do you handle some of this pressure, going into the season as one of the top 2027 quarterbacks in the country?
I feel like I'm handling it well. Well, I got a great coaching staff around me. Great coaches, great mentors, great trainers like Balin and my OC Grant Alford. They've been preparing me for these moments ever since I started with them. So I feel like I feel like they prepared me for the moment and things like that. So I feel good going into next season and being able to ball out.
And really quick, brother, I'm gonna just switch the tone a little bit as the viewers that's watching. They know I like to throw this in. We're gonna do a little Drew's Fast Five real quick. Where I shoot 5 questions at you, and you answer them as fast as you can. You know what I mean? Give the people a little bit of insight of what's going on in your mind, and what some of the things you do to get prepared. So
Yeah,
here we go, brother. So really quick, we're gonna start off with favorite football player of all time.
Patrick Mahomes.
Favorite pregame song.
That's a hard one. I'll say HG4 by Rod Wave.
Okay, bad. Okay, okay. Best post game meal.
Post game meal, I'll say Chick-fil-A.
Ooh, just had Chick-fil-A. Favorite movie or TV show.
Fast and Furious.
Ooh, which one though? They got like 50 of them right now.
Yeah, I mean they're all good. So I
Okay,
mean,
you just like the series.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I love
that,
the
that
series.
okay. And really quick, man, if you could name one skill that like, what's your best skill on the football field as a quarterback? If it's accuracy, timing, leadership, whatever. I don't want to say it. What's your best skill?
I feel like it's leadership because
Leadership.
I'm able to talk to my guys. Get what I need out of them. They can get what they need out of me. And be able to lead the field. And when that 2 minute drill comes, I feel like I've been prepared for it and lead my team to a win.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Y'all heard it from my brother, man. Let's get it, man. So really quick, man. Hey, we wrapped it up. We definitely talked about some of my brother's background playing football. Definitely wanted to talk about some of this recruiting talk, man. Like I said, 2027 Riser has plenty of time to grow. But man, in my opinion, I've been around the country here recently, and I've seen a lot of quarterbacks around his age, and he's definitely at the top, in my opinion. I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want to shoot nobody's list down, but in my opinion, definitely in that top 5 range for the 2027 Risers. And I appreciate you for hopping on, brother. Really quick though, before we close out, I always like to give my guests, the opportunity to give thanks to the people that's helped them along the way. For sure, the parents, the coaches you mentioned, Balin, your high school coaches. Just give the people that's pouring into you some thanks before we close out here, brother.
I'd like to thank God first. As I would thank God first, keep God in your life. I'd like to thank my parents, Balin, my head coach, Walter Banks, my O-line coach, Chad Mavity. I'd like to give thanks to my OC, Grant Alford. I'd also like to give a thanks to the college coaches for bringing me out and recruiting me, like Florida. I like to give thanks to Coach Ryan O'Hara, Coach Mike Novell, Coach Tony Tokars. Um, I'd like to give thanks to just all the schools that's been recruiting me lately. I really appreciate them for that and trying to give me the opportunity to come out there. And Arkansas too.
Yeah,
I'm
for
about to
sure. Hey, that was that first one to pull that trigger, huh? Big time.
And I also like to thank my line too for being able to protect me.
There you go. Hey, that's a quarterback talk right there. Y'all hear him closing out? Hey, man, definitely a well-spoken brother, man. Definitely just an introduction episode for this kid. Definitely want to have him on again to give you guys an update. But we wanted to shoot you guys a little bit of recruiting talk for him. He's definitely on the rise right now. For the people that's going to be watching this live, make sure you tap into the article, tap into his social media, share his stuff, and share the content, man. You guys want this to grow. This is what we're here for, to give these kids exposure and help them grow and try to push what they got going on. So this is what we're here for. Thank you, brother, for hopping on. Definitely stay on real quick so I can talk to you after this. But
Okay.
thank y'all for hopping on. Y'all share the content. Y'all share my boy. Let's go, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.